What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Oh, feeling loved. I promise. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, switching things up just a hair. So, got a new deck in for you last night, and it's one I'm going to be using across both channels, but more so it's going to be a little more focused towards this channel. And I got something else coming in for the mixed Cancer, so stay tuned. But how we're going to do this is still going to be the general energy of the day with the main card, and then how we're going to work with the energy will be the sign, the challenges will be the phase, and then the advice will come from the luminary that rules the sign there, or the planet. So Gemini's ruler is Mercury. So we'll get a little insight from Mercury there. And then, good old surprise card at the end, because I love spoiling your Cancer. But with the, and I don't know if I said this, Cancer, hope you had a great weekend. But with the, let's get into some lunar stuff. Because with the moon being in Gemini, this is a very intellectual placement for the moon. It can be very active. You might be feeling real talkative, kind of witty, collaborative. This is good stuff if you have any sort of like studying that you need to get done, or if you need anything that requires you to consume a lot of information, Gemini energy's got your back. And then with the moon being in a first quarter phase, things are starting to pick up speed. We got to keep that momentum. We're trying to make some decisions and then make sure that our actions are aligning with our words here, Cancer. And then, in case you all were curious, which I'm curious too, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I will look up the name of this deck, and then this one is a Dreamy Moons Tarot deck, and I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But let's get into your reading here, you Queen of Wands, you. And keep in mind too, Cancer, these aren't gender-specific readings. So you are all Queen of Wands in this scenario. And with the Queen of Wands, I feel like that this is a good way to start off the Monday here, Cancer. What do you want to... I feel like this is asking us to just start something. The Queen of Wands is very bold energy. This is Aries, one of Aries' card. And I feel like with this, Cancer, if we've had anything that whatever we've started up, or, was even thinking about starting up during this lunar cycle, if we've been maybe kind of, let's say we've been entertaining the idea, and it's like we're slowly, we're starting to, maybe starting to do some, I'm getting almost like a half-ass kind of, we've been thinking about it, just like how I think about social media sometimes. I feel like that this is asking us to, kind of crank up the heat a little bit, to really kind of go in and be bold with whatever it is that you're doing. Because that's Aries energy. Aries is the type that we're just going to go in and Aries is the type to act first and we'll think about it later. And so maybe this is something where I feel like if we've been dragging our feet on starting something, Cancer, and whatever that is, this could be maybe starting up a new business. This could, maybe some of us are thinking about, maybe you want to go for a promotion at work, or maybe even like a raise or something, or if we're even thinking about maybe starting up like a new diet, or even a new workout routine, or whatever, Cancer, go for it, and I really feel like, really have that drive, like go with that enthusiasm, that heat, because I feel like that is going to be something that is going to that's going to pay off in the long run here. Fortune favors the bold. And when I'm even thinking about this Aries energy, the Aries, or the Jupiter is in Aries right now. And that's where when I think about Jupiter and Aries, it's when you take the action, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And be mindful, Cancer, even when I say that about the risk, whatever it is that you're embarking on, let's just make sure it has that passion behind it, that fuel. But let's see. Now we're going to move over to how we can work with the energy. Let's see how we can make the most of this Queen of Wands energy. So, yeah, let's see what's going on with how we can work with this Gemini. And Cancer too, when we're thinking about this stuff with this Gemini energy, you might be thinking like, well, it's not quite perfect, or whatever. If this is like an idea maybe we're thinking about. Well, Cancer, sometimes we don't have to worry about perfect. Sometimes it's just about starting, you know what I mean? Even when I was thinking about, right before I was recording, I was laying out this stuff here, and I'm just like, how is this going to work? And I was just like, you know what? We're going to wing it. We're going to figure it out. Like, and sometimes that's just what we need to do. And you know what, Cancer? You never know. Brilliance can happen. But it is about trusting your intuition and making a decision. The Two of Crystals, the Two of Crystals, sometimes ask us to go on blind faith, and to jump into the unknown. You may feel like you're at a crossroads right now. It's like, should I do this? Does it make sense? What if I make mistakes? Well, Cancer, what if everything goes well? What if this is evil, or what if it even goes better than what you had even anticipated, But it's just taking that action and trust that your instincts are going to guide you. And this could be something too, maybe if we've in the past, I was thinking about with for example, like a business. If we failed something, oh, look at you. If we failed at something in the past and we're afraid of repeating ourselves, Cancer, that's an illusion, or that's a misconception if we're afraid of repeating those same mistakes. Because here's the thing with failures, even this could be failures in even aspects, if we started, like, let's say we've been trying to start like a new diet and that's failed, or nothing sticks, or if we try to work out, that nothing sticks, or maybe we want to make more time for, thinking of Gemini energy, maybe we want to take more time to read, and that doesn't stick. Where things may not have worked in the past, that doesn't mean that they can't work in the future. It's just we need to adapt a little bit. It's to be flexible. Maybe consider if how you were doing it, was it resonating with you? Let's refine it. Here's the thing, with anything that you're getting ready to embark on, especially if this is something that we're new at, it's going to feel a little awkward at first. We want to have, I feel like, the results sometimes, like right now, as after we've done it for like a day, we're just like, it's like expecting, or at least with this, what I'm getting here, it's like expecting, if you did like a lap around your block, to think that you'd be ready to run a marathon might be a bit extreme, Cancer. Not to say that, you might be able to tough it out. It might not be the fastest one, but you may be able to crank it out. But we can work, it can be easier how we work with these energies here, Cancer. The transformation process doesn't have to be anything, it doesn't have to be painful, but it is one of those things when we are getting ready to answer that call, for self-growth, to better ourselves. It's going through, without a doubt, it's embracing that transformation wholly, and being and following through with that, And I was thinking too, when I'm thinking like with habits and such, or maybe like if we're thinking about correcting some old behaviors. Here's something too, Cancer. I've been kind of doing some research into like planetary returns, and what that is like where let's talk about the moon. The moon right before the lunar cycle, wherever your moon placement was when you were born, every every time the moon does a cycle, there's is going to be that period of time when the moon was in the exact position of where it was when you were born, and that's called the lunar return. And with the lunar return, that's good energy to, if we have any sort of like bad habits, that we wanted to correct, or any sort of things that we've been wanting to refine, that's good energy for that. So that's when, when I say, like check your sun, your moon, your rising, all of that, there's cycles. There's more to you, Cancer, than just the lunar cycles. You got your sun cycle, which is like your birthday, duh. And then even we have like our Mercury returns, Mars, all of the planets. Well, yeah, at least, up until Pluto, have like a returns and stuff like that. Your midlife crisis is considered like when Uranus is in, when Uranus is in opposition? It's a whole thing, Cancer. But all of that to say, when we're working with this energy, just sometimes it's just good to just start, if we think too hard about it and, think about maybe past stuff or think about future stuff, how we may fail, then it gets us to where we slow down a little bit. But, I feel like be like this person here, embrace that transformation with open arms, because this is going to be you here. This is change calling. This is Pluto. This change calling, transformation is happening. And I tell you what, Cancer, it's going to be wonderful when we start doing that. So just something to keep in mind. But let's see what are some challenges. See what are some challenges that we might face with dealing with this energy here. Oof, all right. Let's see. Oh, Cancer. All right. So here's the thing, Cancer. We had a couple thoughts here. Oh, is there any more here? Okay. But we got a couple thoughts here. So first off, we got the Eight of Cups. And I feel like that the Eight of Cups is about letting go of any old ways that aren't serving us a purpose anymore, Cancer, that are not helping us function at our most efficient, at our best. That's diminishing this potential here. And it's about finding that balance again, and really kind of connecting to your higher self again, your future self, God, Buddha, Jesus, however you connect to the source, Cancer. But it's aligning like that head and that heart, and really committing to getting yourself back in adjustment here, working with the energies, make this, when we set out these different goals, we make this stuff work for us. Whatever we're creating, we're not going, try not to get it to where, don't make it harder for yourself than it needs to be, Cancer. If you find that, let's say for working out, maybe you're the type, like you want to be the one that's like running at like 5 a.m. in the morning, but mornings might not be your jam. Maybe try running in the afternoons, or and then if we got work to think about, then maybe let's try some evening runs. Let's think outside of the box. Let's get creative here, Cancer. Let's be flexible, because even with that's funny, even with this first quarter here, the first quarter even mentions being flexible. It's being and being balanced, being balanced in what we're doing with the stuff, in this Cancer too, I feel like this may be something where it's like set realistic goals, with whatever it is that we're doing. But when we set this stuff, go at it, like I feel like that this is really, you got this heat, that's asking us to go forward and to realize the potential that you have and to shine like a star, Cancer. But it is the only way that we're going to be able to do that is taking those steps, because even the first quarter moon, this is good for, I'm just looking at, we're learning as we go, Cancer. I'm gleaning stuff, and it's just like, this is good for like even like celebrating, and I like that it puts charting your progress. That may be something to do too, Cancer, that maybe keep a log for your growth, in whatever it is that you do each cycle. Maybe make a list of what you started out with each thing, and then see where you're at each time. Every time we get to a different point, that might be a good motivator for you as well. Any more? I'm with this, Cancer. Okay, we're moving along. See, Cancer, we're adapting. We're moving along nicely. Everything is being flexible. Let's get some advice from Mercury. Let's see. Let's wrap this up here. Oh, goodness. Oh! Okay, interesting. You know what? I like that. You got the devil here, Cancer. And I feel like that this is kind of signifying that's some good advice to not think that or to not feel shackled. I feel like by whatever restrictions that may be. How do I want to put this? I feel like that with this devil, it's like sometimes if things get hard at first, when we're taking these steps to grow, to better ourselves, it can be hard work. And we don't want to get to this place where you're doing this stuff and you're not enjoying it. You know what I mean? Because even when things get hard with what you're doing, we can still we can still stay positive even in the hard times, Cancer. And I feel like that it's reminding you, this devil's reminding you that yes, we've got work to do, and this is something that you're going to probably need to work on throughout the duration of the journey. Devil moments for me, just because we start doing something, for example, let's say if we were setting out, let's say we our transformation, we were choosing to give up like smoking, for example, just because we did it today, and even like for a week, that doesn't change the fact that it's still going to be a thing. Just because you quit smoking, that doesn't mean that everybody in the world has quit smoking. And then it's going to be, how do we operate with that, when being in that environment, how do we process that? More? But it's going to be something where I feel like that it's going to be any sort of old ways of operating, these old habits are going to, to not let them, and not to let them too, Cancer, to let them, these situations like hold you down. And the devil doesn't even necessarily have to be just with like narcotics and things along those lines, or alcohol, gambling. It can be self-esteem. If we tell ourselves like doubts that like we can't change, or that we know that we're not sure if we even have the whatever, Cancer, whatever doubts that we tell ourselves, don't let this undertaking ruin, mess up our connection here, get you where it's throwing you off your game. When you find yourself maybe kind of panicking or maybe spiraling, I find that the King of Cups kind of invites us to just be present. He's throned on an ocean, and there's a lot going on in the ocean. And sometimes, when we have taken off and things, start getting a little rocky at first, sometimes we need to check in the present and just sort of zen for a second, like, okay, everything is all right. Okay, we hit a little bit of a snag. If there's something, how do I adjust? How do I adapt? What do I fix? And then we go from there, Cancer. It's good stuff can happen, when we keep our level head. Are we good here? Okay, we're going to switch back over, Cancer. But yeah, that's interesting, Cancer. I feel like that. What really, that last little thoughts here, just keep that drive. When we get something, or when we start something, we want to follow through, and we want consistency, and to keep that. And let's say we falter a day, that's okay. That doesn't ruin the process. We just pick it back up, it's, tomorrow. or the next day, the next moment. It's just like new day, new you, new beginnings. It's it's all cycles, Cancer. You can start over whenever whenever it makes sense for you. So just something to keep in mind when we're working with these energies, Cancer. I'm with it. I think I'm going to keep that there. I hope you like this way of doing it. Let me know, Cancer. I'm always open to be adaptable. We can switch if you want to throw back Oracle or more Oracle cards, and I'm with it, Cancer. But give it a thumbs up if you like that, and share this, Cancer. If we've because I get it every now and again. Even with our sign, I'm even thinking about Cancer as a cardinal sign. We're one of the initiators: Aries, us, Libra, and Capricorn. Capricorn. But I feel like with Cancers, it's not that we can't initiate stuff. It's just like that I feel like there needs to be like good motivation, or maybe I feel like we have to really want to do something. I feel like we're like borderline like a fixed sign, because I feel like when we start something, we usually, I feel like, can see it through. But every now and again, Cancer, and that's going to depend on, placements and whatnot, house play, it's a whole thing. But, it can be hard sometimes taking that first step, but once you get going, Cancer, it's full steam ahead from there. So was that for sharing, Cancer? I'm not sure. You know how I get back into your reading sometimes, but share this thing. I'm pretty sure we were on sharing. And you know what? In that time, hopefully you've subscribed and hit that bell button so that you get notified when I release videos each day. And then social media, Cancer, I am on, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Insight Timer. And it's just like a meditation app that I use. And I think I am going to start talking about that. It's a meditation app that I use. It's lovely. I've been using it probably, at first it was kind of on and off at first. Like I think I started back in like I downloaded that, I think 2017 or something like that. But I've been on it. I'm on it all the time. It's really cool. You can message people. There are different groups to join. They have different live stuff. It's real cool. And that's where I'm at. So check that out, Cancer, if you're interested. And then, I guess maybe I wonder if that's something I include a link for. More research for me to do, Cancer. Work with that Gemini energy. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Mercury, Cancer. And then go check out my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there with different monthly themes. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Page of Crystals. Cancer, I feel like that with the Page of Crystals, if you've got any ideas that you've been wanting to tackle, any sort of I want to quit smoking, I want to work out, I want to start this project, I want to start a business, whatever this is, manifest it. Start bringing those ideas and start making them. You see how she's been, I don't know why she's thinking about tornadoes, but girl's manifesting tornadoes here. Whatever, girl. But whatever it is that you're wanting, she's being bold, and anything, she's tapping into her Queen of Wands. She may have asked for a breeze, but she's like, I want tornadoes. So that may be another thing too, Cancer. Go for it, like when you're going for this thing, and maybe even put a little extra in, a little oomph in it, and I feel like it's going to reward you. You may have started thinking like, okay, I'm going to do this one undertaking, and then who knows where that'll sprout to, Cancer. Because when we take care of self, the universe, loves to reward that. So, all right, Cancer, I think I'm going to leave that there. So stay safe out there, and you keep eyes on the moon. Oh, keep eyes on the moon. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.